This is a video to introduce how to use a version control system like Git. The first thing you have to do is basically to download Git. So you can actually go to git.scm.com and then head to the download page. And Git is available for both Mac and Windows. And right now we're using a Mac. After you've downloaded Git in your terminal, you should be able to see Git here. So as you can see, I already have Git downloaded. So let's make a demo repository in the desktop. So let's go through demo repository and let's head inside. So the first things we want to do is actually to make this repository like we're able to track every single file. So to do that, we start with git init. So once you do that, this repository will basically be able to track every single changes or every single files that we have made in this repository. Now let's make a readme file. So let's start with changes hello world 1 to git status. So git status is basically a way for you to understand where the position is. So right now in this repository we have 1 untracked files. So you can go to the next command, which is called git add. What git add does is that it will put this file to what we call a staging environment. So you do git status again. As you can see, now it sets changes to be committed. It sets this turns to green. You'll have a new file called readme, and you can actually put it back to not being in staging environment anymore. So just putting it as a normal status. So to do that, you have to do git reset, and again, it will be untracked files like this, just as before. So assuming that I really want to make a commit, and to do that, you do add readme. And whenever I work with a team, I have really standard readme or any messages. So whenever you put something to what we call to become a commit, so a commit is more like a snapshot of what your repository looks like at that period of time. So to do that, you do once they're on stage, you can actually do everything that's being on stage or everything turns green here. You can actually take a snapshot. And to take a snapshot, you do git commit. And once you do that, like I said, I have really standardized the message to developers. So what happened is that for the initial, since it's first commits, for initial commit, I usually do add initial commit. So to start, since you have a Vim here, so to start typing, you type I, and then you start typing the message, and you press escape. So now it's not in insert mode anymore. You press colon, WQ, and then it will be saved. So whenever I work with Git, not only that I work with Git by itself, I also like to have a handy files we call a customized Git config. So they're usually stored in remote in your user's directory, where I have this Git config here. So this is how my Git config will look like. And the two most common one I usually use is the git L and also the git F. So what git L does is that I can show you here is that it will give you more like a tree structure or what it actually looks like. And you will see it when I add more comment on also the later video of showing you how you're going to work with different developers. Another thing is when you do git F, it actually again in a concept where you also have a remote repository. So when you do git F, it actually pull down what is being changed in the repository back to your local files, so you can keep track of how other developers are doing, what commits they have made, any changes they have made. The next things, let's try to make more changes to our readme file. So let's go back. So let's make more lines. So assuming that I actually want to write a proper intro. So this is my intro. This is my first commit to introduce how to use Git. Right, so after I make these changes, again, you can go for git status. You can see again, the readme files has been added. And a lot of time I actually tell my developers that before you add any commit file, or before you make any commit, you have to look at what is being changed. Is it the file that you actually want to commit? So to do that, you can do git diff readme, and it will tells you exactly what is being changed in that file. And if you really like these changes, you can actually do git readme. Again, last time we do just git commit, but there's actually a more handier method to add a message. So I should do this. Again, because I add a new message, so I use my standard for adding a new feature or adding stuff is add all capital letter with a colon, added introduction. So after I do that, I just press enter. So again, doing git out, as you can see, this is my first snapshot. So and this is my second commit that I have. So master here means that you actually have a branch called master, and this is where it points to. Head is where your current position is. The thing that I can show you is how do you move from here to here. So you basically take a step back, and what if I want to check out what is in the initial commit? So what you can do is you can do git check out this one. So now since you're there, so again the head shows you that you're in this commit, and master, which is usually the main branch, is now here. So which means that you should be able to see changes made in the initial commit, but you're not able to see changes made in the introduction. So what is that? If you look at the readme file, you should be able to see the first commit that we make, the change is hello world 1, and you shouldn't be able to see the introduction part. So let's take a look at it. Again, you can see, you only see this, and you can also go back to master. And one more thing, because of the custom git config that I have, I actually replace this checkout with a more shorter aliases. So apart from master, you can actually make even more different branches that point to different snapshot. For example, I can actually make a new branch called, which I usually do it with my developers. Every single developer when they start coding, they have to make a branch that name after themselves. So let's say for my case, I'll name one as Draco. And then what you want to do is that, because after every time when I make a new commit, master will change. So what happened is that I want to make sure that I'm actually checking out Draco's branch before I actually make a new commit. So let's say I want to make a new file called index. So let's say I make an HTML file. So again, you can see I have the untracked file. And then since I'm pointing to Draco, so master actually will stay here. And then when I make a commit, it will actually shows you that this is actually where I'm pointing to. I add a index.html, and then master will stay in the introduction. So this is all the basic command for now. And then in the next video, we'll show you how you're going to use this Git. Are you going to push to a remote repository, and also how you're going to work with different developers.